Hi everyone, it's Alejandra from Alejandra.tv, and I hope you're doing well and having a great fall season and last quarter of 2018. If you're watching this video right now, thank you so much for clicking play and joining me and my friend Marcia in this fun discussion around holiday organization. So my goal and intent of this video is to offer you advice and tips around getting organized and staying organized for the holiday season, since we both know that when the holidays begin, we can begin to feel overwhelmed or begin to just feel like everything is in chaos. And fortunately, there are things that we can all do to eliminate any uncomfortable feelings and instead fully enjoy and embrace the holiday season ahead. So I don't know anyone better to be joining the discussion than my friend Marcia Ramsland, who is a holiday coach and spokesperson, and she teaches people how to get organized and manage their busy lives. She's been doing so for over 30 years. She appears in TV, in national magazines such as Better Homes and Garden and Real Simple. She's been on Martha Stewart Radio, and she's authored many books on simplifying life. She believes that with new tips and working smart, anyone can get organized and simplify their life. So I am so grateful that she is joining this discussion, and she's going to share a lot of her wisdom around holiday organization. So thank you, Marcia, for joining us, and welcome.
Oh, it's so great to be here, Alejandra. Thank you for having me, and I love what you do. So together, we are going to give a lot of great tips today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and I was the one who was staying up on Christmas Eve wrapping presents. So this is a long way that I've come. So I really relate to everyone. If you stay up on Christmas Eve wrapping presents, you probably said, like I did, next year I'm going to start earlier. Well, when I did that, the next year I started buying gifts earlier, but I was still up wrapping the presents. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, this has got to change. So that year in January, I sat at my kitchen table. I took out 5 calendars from the last few years, and I said, what is with the holidays? There's got to be a system. And so as I looked at it, I figured out something that's key for people. And that is that I use Thanksgiving to start getting ready for the holidays because I didn't want to commercialize Christmas by shopping too soon. And then I saw something amazing. Thanksgiving's a floating holiday. Some years it's 4.5 weeks before Christmas. You feel like, oh, this was a good year. And other times it's only 3.5 weeks. And we feel like, ah, this is so stressful. So I backed it up and I thought, where is the consistent starting point? Well, 8 weeks before, after Halloween, the next day, November 1st, is 8 weeks until Christmas. And I go, brilliant. Okay, so what? What do I do with that? And so I listed all the tasks that we have to do for Christmas, like Christmas cards, and then you're doing presents, and then you have to decorate, and you have to bake, and you say, I'm simplifying. I am not doing that. And then you get to Christmas week, and you go, oh, I don't want to have a Charlie Brown Christmas. So I backed it up and I divided those 8 weeks into 3 phases. Things to do. And this is when you start on November 1st and you just go, well, I did put up a Christmas wreath for today, but normally you don't put any decorations up, but you go through your Christmas card list. I don't even do a Christmas card list. I do an email Christmas list. So go through that, go through your gift wrap center and say, do I need white tissue paper? Do I have enough bags? Are there odd tubes sticking out? Simplify that gift wrap box that you're going to have probably under your bed. And then also you want to write a master gift list. And that is free along with this 8-week holiday calendar. We'll tell you at the end how to get that. But on that master gift list, if you keep that in a holiday notebook every year, you can go back to last year and say, oh, I gave this to so and so, and I gave 3 gifts to this person for the same amount of money that they bought 1 gift for me. Oh, that's a clue. They like 1 gift. And then the other thing is you can see where you bought them a gift. And so I have a daughter-in-law that loves Pottery Barn. I could buy anything in that store and she's happy. So you get to know the stores that your people that you give to like. just go back there, and it simplifies the whole thing. So
Wow.
my story. I'm sticking to it. Everybody can simplify the holidays. The 8-week plan works great. And in the book, I actually have a 4-week plan and a 10-week countdown. So whenever you're watching this, we got you covered.
Wow. So you've really, like, from wrapping gifts the day before Christmas or the night before Christmas to where you are right now, it sounds like it like gives us hope. And anyone watching that feels stressed out during the holidays, that you can change your ways and there's a better approach to enjoying the season, feeling
It
more
really,
organized.
the holidays are not just a matter of heart, they're a matter of organization.
Yeah.
I really believe that because when we organize, then the holidays come every year, and based on your age, you probably have 30 more to do. So you just want to say, let's get a system. Let's keep our notes in one place from last year. Holiday notebook, my new holiday book has a pocket in it for it. And that way you can look at what you did. And instead of starting from ground zero and blank envelope and saying, let's make a list of who we need to give gifts to. You just take out what you did last year and improve it. And
I
every
love it.
year you simplify one thing. One way I simplified, I know you won't agree with this, but my friends all said you have to have a real tree. Well, when my girls were 4 and 2, my husband did not have time from work to go look for a tree. So the week of Christmas, we were in a grocery store parking lot looking at trees in the rain, and I said, "This is it, artificial tree from now on." So I
Wow.
simplified my holidays, stopped blaming spouse for what he didn't do, and we got that tree. And now I put it on the 8-week calendar for Thanksgiving week or the first week in December. It's on there. And now husbands are saying, honey, where's that calendar for the holidays? What date am I supposed to put up the tree? And women go, oh my goodness, he asked how to help. That's amazing.
Wow. Wow. Well, I think that's so smart that you have a calendar that outlines everything and has dates of to do things by. So you have that accountability of, okay, by this date, I'm going to finish all of the cards or all of the email cards or however you send cards or whatever task it is. And you just follow along and it just makes it so much more structured and streamlined.
It does. And what I have is also a blank calendar so that people can write what they actually do.
Okay.
So there's mine that's a sample, and then there's theirs that they can write down. This is when I addressed cards. You can write down during my favorite TV show, and sometimes it's not family cards, it's business. So you want to send
Okay.
something out for business, um, and just
Great.
keep it simple. Start saving your family photograph or something from the summer, and really a photo card is the easiest thing.
Okay. Great. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that and thank you for sharing your story with us. So, excuse me, I do have a question. So, for people that feel like they have a million things to do during the year, they're taking care of children, they're working full time, maybe they're back in school or they're a single parent, they just have a lot going on. With the holidays brings like extra tasks to do with shopping, decorating the house, inviting guests over. How do you have any tips or advice for these people that feel like now there's even more to do? How can I get this all done? But not just like race to get it all done and cross things off my to-do list, but actually enjoy everything I'm doing, because it's not about just checking things off. It's we want to enjoy what we're doing. Do you have any tips for this type of person?
Yes. I suggest you put yourself on the Christmas gift list and
Okay.
just something for yourself. And you go either at the beginning of the season or the end. I had a girlfriend that I'm like, Tammy, where'd you get that necklace? She said, my husband gave it to me for Christmas. And I said, my husband would never do that. And she said, oh, it's simple. I just go to the store and I put two away on hold. I tell him which store to go to, and he gets one of the two, and I'm surprised. And it's simple.
Huh.
So you can do that. Also, I've seen it done with moms with their teenagers. They have a shopping day. The teenagers go to their favorite store in the mall, put things on layaway, and then the mom just goes and she picks what she would like out of their group. but we've really simplified it in our family. We have Amazon wish list. And I say, okay, for this amount of money, you can pick anything. Just send me the Amazon link. So
Okay.
we all share the Amazon links of a gift list, and then people go on and surprise you, and you feel like they wanted it. And I'm happy to give something that they want, and that way they're happy. You're not just giving them something that becomes clutter, but
Yeah.
something they're going to use. And then you feel like I didn't overspend. Now, this is important because when we don't know what to get people, we overspend. And very important to not be walking down an aisle and say, oh, that looks like a great purse. Oh, that's a great bath soap set there. And when it's last minute, we overspend. And so when you put a quote budget, that bad word there, you take on the gift list, I have a spot for budget and then what you actually spend. You can see how much you're lining up with it, and you can see if you're like my friend Ellie Kay, that's America's Family Financial Expert. She said people are paying off Christmas bills until May. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, people overspend because they just forget what they bought. But with a gift list, you're writing down what you bought, and then it's not hidden in the garage or in a closet. You forget about it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to give that. You have it all in that master list, what you want to spend and how much you spend.
Okay.
It's hard to think that you have to look at finances with gift giving. You feel like, oh, it should come from my heart. But when you do, you make better choices, and it doesn't clutter up people's houses with things they may not
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I love the idea of going to a store and like like your friends that, or I don't know if it was you or your friend, but you put two necklaces on hold and then you tell your spouse. And so there's the certainty that you're going to like what you get, but you also get the surprise aspect of it also because you're not sure which one your spouse is going to pick. So it meets like two great things.
want.
Thanks
Yes.
for sharing that story.
That way. So put yourself on the gift list. That's fun.
Okay, great. And so the holidays are about getting people together, inviting guests over, being around our loved ones. But when the house is a mess, we can easily feel ashamed or feel embarrassed by our clutter. And it can drive us to just take stuff from on top of a surface in the kitchen or on top of a table and just throw it behind a kitchen cabinet door or throw it upstairs in the bedroom where no one goes. But we both know, and anyone watching this that has done this before, we both know this makes the problem worse. Is there anything that we can do to still have people over, but not get caught up in like the mad dash of just hiding stuff and just going further down?
I have been that route. So I feel the pain of people knowing people are coming. A couple thoughts. One is I tell people starting Thanksgiving, no remodeling, no painting, no special projects, okay? Because just survival during the November December time frame is important. Now, what you can do is stand at your front door and walk in like a guest and think, okay, neighbors are going to come over, maybe bring cookies. What does my front door look like and what they see when they walk in? That is the place to start. Don't worry about the pantry. Nobody's going to look there. Just go
Okay.
ahead and walk through your house like a maze, like a guest would. And then clear surfaces. So you want to say, do I like this? Do I use it? Where does it go? And if not, donate it, because charities really appreciate donations at this time of year. Then
Okay.
you can also, um, if you're boxing it up, rather than stashing it, box it. You and I like boxes, no bags, just boxes. You
Okay.
know, if they're bankers boxes, don't tell anybody I told you this, but pull the couch forward, stack the boxes lower than the back height, and then just put a sheet over it. And then on the outside of each box, put a post-it note from the kitchen, from the family room, so that after Christmas you can go through it and you just do one box at a time, and you'll feel better seeing your surroundings. And then when it's clear for like surfaces, like the counters. People think you're organized when your table is clear, when your kitchen counter is clear, and take a picture and say, this is the way I want to live, and I will go through my boxes. One more tip. I thought I'd be so organized and smart one year and go through the Christmas decorations and donate what I didn't want to put back. So I'm like, okay, I separated out. This is what I put up. This is what I don't use. And I'll go to the charity. So I went in January with my bags to donate to charity. And I said, here. And the man looked in the bags and he laughed at me. He said, lady, we don't have room to store your holiday decorations any more than you do. You have to store these decorations 11 months of the year. You enjoy them for a month. I'm like,
Huh.
oh, and I took them home, but I marked to give them away. So if
Okay.
any of you feel like you're going to go through holiday decorations, do it early. Donate it to a charity or a newlywed. They will be thrilled to have something that you have enjoyed so far, but you're passing on to someone else. So do it in November, December to donate. And then
Great.
boxes for the decorations will be organized.
Great advice to do that beforehand and not in January when it's out of season. I totally agree with you. Just focus on if you have a lot of clutter in your house and you're having guests over and it can you start to feel anxious when people come over, to focus on the high priority areas like the kitchen, the dining room, the family room, the guest room, the powder room, and focus on just the areas that you can see instead of behind closed doors that no one's going to open, or they may open, but it's more likely they're just going to sit on the couch or sit at the table. And so focus on those areas and just do the best you can. And just remember that it's not about the clutter. It's about being with people for the holiday season and just focus on what is important. And when you do that, you realize that, you know what, it's okay to have stuff in our house. We live in the house. It's okay. And then I also want to ask you, do you have any tips for the unexpected house guest when the house is a disaster and you hear the doorbell ring and you look outside and it's your friend holding a plate of cookies or dropping off a gift, and you just like instantly feel so anxious and just the opposite of calm because the house is a disaster? Any tips for that person?
Yeah. 2 minute pickup. They can wait 2 minutes while you just go around quickly on the surfaces, put things away, and just invite them to one spot to sit down. Don't give them a house tour. Just say,
Okay.
come here, and always during November, December, have cookies in the freezer. Not that you made, but you just buy them and just
Okay.
have them, and you can get a tea bag and Christmas or Thanksgiving mugs and pull it out and sit down in that one spot that you cleaned up in 2 minutes. Say, oh, it's so great to see you. And it always helps if you ask them a question. People love to talk about themselves. So never make an excuse. Always say, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, that was so nice you brought that. Let's sit down. Tell me, what are you doing for the holidays?
I love that. So you shift the focus from yourself, from however you feel, to the other person, being thankful that they're there, they're giving you a gift, or they brought you cookies or something. So shifting the focus. Thank you for sharing that. I agree with you. So what we shouldn't do is we shouldn't just run upstairs and pretend we're not home and not open the door.
No, I was believe it or not, I had to stop in at my minister's wife's house, and I
Yeah.
stopped in, and it was, kind of those deer in the headlight look. And she said, would you like to come in and have a glass of water? And she just engaged in listening to me and talking, and we had a nice 5-10 minute conversation, and I left. And I thought, if you can offer someone a glass of water and make them feel welcome, you can do that for anybody. So glass of water, cup of tea. That's as simple as it needs to be.
I love that. I love that. And I want to add one more thing. For anyone that feels this way, something else you can do is stop, whether it's before you open the door or it's after, but stop and look inward and see what part of you is getting triggered by someone coming over and seeing the mess, and get to know that part of yourself, because getting to know that part of yourself and really understanding when it gets triggered with who, just really having that awareness really has the power to free you. So just something else you could do on your own time, but if that is something that happens, something I think can really help someone. All right. I did have another question I wanted to ask you. So this time of the year doesn't always feel I'm sorry, that's really loud. This time of the year doesn't always feel cheerful for a lot of people, especially those that have lost someone recently, or they're going through some kind of major life transition, or they're experiencing a health concern or a crisis. For these people, is there any advice for finding the energy to get things done? Like they want to get things done, but they feel stuck in the pain, and they just writing a simple wish list or a gift list just feels mentally and emotionally drained. Do you have any advice for these people?
That's probably a good time to be a part of a support group. There are holiday support groups, and just Google it with your zip code, find one so that you can talk through those feelings, and you'll find, you know, everyone else may be in a hustle and bustle, but when you go to the support group, you feel like, oh, somebody else feels this way, and how am I going to remember that person, or how am I going to get through it? If it's not a physical person you've lost, but it's just some kind of trauma, honestly, the Hallmark Channel will get you through a lot of focusing outward and just kind of past those evenings when the feelings may be the hardest, turning on Christmas music, holiday music for Thanksgiving, and finding a support buddy and just admitting how you feel to someone else or journaling it out. It's always good at night to journal those feelings so that at night you don't sleep with those feelings, but
Mm.
you've written it out. Today I'm feeling this way, what I'd really like to feel, what I'd really like to do, and then do that. And then um, my aunt was a cheerful person, and I said, Aunt Laura, how do you stay so cheerful? And she said, when I go to bed at night, I think of 5 good things on my 5 fingers every night to be thankful for. And I thought, that's very practical because you're laying there in bed with your thoughts and yourself. But if you count on your fingers, okay, I'm thankful for my neighbor stopped over and brought those cookies and I didn't stress about it. I invited them in. Or,
Oh.
maybe I had a nice phone call from the Amazon delivery man or something. So even small things, 5 a day, will kind of help you start thinking forward and also think about who you can help. So as you donate your Christmas excess donations, or any going through your closet, anything you give, think about the person you're giving to. And the old cure is to find someone in a worse strait and be their support system through it. And that takes the focus off of yourself. But there are days when you have such a bad loss, you can't get out of bed. But if you're out of bed, start thinking, who can I help today? Who might be going through this too?
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Support group and gratitude. Gratitude does wonders for us.
Yeah.
And
I think we're losing your mic. Yeah. Bring it back up. There we go.
okay, sorry. I agree with you so much, and I want to add one thing. If you could, for anyone that feels mentally or emotionally drained, where they're having a hard time getting things done, I would recommend looking for love everywhere you go. So when you go to a store, hold the door for the person behind you, or when you go to order coffee or tea, pay for the person behind you's coffee, because when we give love, we feel love, and when we feel love, we're so much more effective in the things that we do. And it also, like you said, it shifts the focus from our pain outwardly to helping someone else, and giving love so we can feel love. Not just give love to feel love, but both people feeling love is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. When we get our actions going in the right directions, our emotions will eventually catch up. So don't let your emotions lead. Let your actions lead. Good. Well
I love
said.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcia. So this time of the year, you host a holiday class for helping people stay organized as the holidays begin. Can you tell us more about the holiday class for those that could benefit from more support this time of the year?
Yes. The first weekend, November 1st, is our kickoff 8 week holiday calendar. But I started on the first Monday of November. And that way I get people thinking. We do PowerPoint, I teach on it, I show them the big picture of the calendar and where the important dates are. When they see it, they go, oh, I can do that because it's spread out. So each Monday night, I teach a new aspect of it. They go and do it, and we have a private Facebook group. Everybody posts what they're doing, and then they can post before and afters of their decorations. They can post recipes, but they also we cover situations. With the relatives, they're going to do this, and I don't want to do that, and how do I handle this? So we go through a lot of that. It's a great support group. It's very affordable, and it's just my gift to people. So it's a lot of fun, and people can become lifetime members because every holiday is different. And you know, maybe our parents were in the generation that we always do this on Thanksgiving Day, we always do this on Christmas Eve, always on Christmas Day. It's not like that anymore. Every year is different. And if you have a plan and a structure, you can be flexible within it. When you have no structure, then you're just reactive to every other relative's desires. And you feel like, no, that's not how I wanted to spend the holiday. But when you have a support group like our Monday night class behind you, we go, yeah, you can stand up. You can say this. This is what you want to do. You can go to Cabo if you want, and skip the whole thing, but no, stay home and do something with the family. But we find the shortcuts. People go through their holiday decorations. I show pictures of how to box them, how to make them easy to do. Table settings, we do. That's too many decorations. You do not need 5 Christmas trees. You need to simplify, and we just have a ball. And the ideas just generate. And it's you feel so happy and energized after that 1 hour on Monday evenings. It's great.
That's so great. So is it so it's every Monday for the holiday season starting November 5th?
Yes, that's when it starts, but anybody can join any Monday. So if you're
Okay.
listening to this 3 weeks from now, you can still join and you still get all the recordings and all the excitement. And we just welcome everybody anytime they feel like, oh, I could use some help. Oh, yeah, everybody's coming. What am I going to do? I actually have 12 days of company coming. And with our
Wow.
3 married children, I can't believe it, but they have 9 grandchildren, and they're babies, 3 babies, up to 5 years old. Crazy in the
Wow.
puppy for 12 days. So
Wow.
when they look at that and watch me go through it, they go, oh, well, I could do this then because she showed me the shortcut how to handle a crowd, and we're going to do it this way.
Wow. And so people join by phone on Monday nights, or is it like video like this? Or
It's
how does someone?
like this, exactly.
Okay, it's video.
So everybody, if you're in Georgia, if you're in New York or Virginia or San Diego, we got everyone. And the beauty of it is you can contribute, you can listen, you can do whatever level you want, but it helps. I think women are just doing the holidays by themselves. It's sort of like it all falls on the lady of the house. If we're going to have company, who's planning the meal, who's doing the inviting, who's doing the cooking? It's always the woman. This way they feel like I'm not alone. Other people are doing it, and you can share ideas. And that's what we want, is a community of women moving forward instead of feeling isolated, like I have to measure up to my sister-in-law's expectation, and my mother-in-law's coming, and she, blah, 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 blah. So
Okay.
take care of that. And they come back and tell me every year that was the best holiday season. But the real wonderful compliment is when your family says, this was the best holiday season. My son-in-law said that to me. And I said, why do you think this was the best one? And he thought for a minute and he said, no drama. And I thought, wow, I don't know what he grew up with or whatever, but sometimes people like to just know they'll be safe wherever they're going to celebrate the holidays. And, Uncle Joe is not going to get off on politics and somebody else is not having a fight with somebody else. But if you have a safe place to invite people and everyone feels welcome, has a good time, and they go home happy, you have achieved it and you can open your Christmas present at that point.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, making people feel welcome and making people feel safe really influences the outcome of the party. S- Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so I offer three things for the holidays to help people.
Okay.
One is the holiday class starting every Monday, just an hour. You'll just feel like, oh, this this put sense to the holidays and it took the stress off my life.
Is it, can I interrupt for a second? Is it structured so like one Monday you talk just about organizing your holiday decorations, next Monday it's another topic? Or is it like, what is the structure that we can expect?
Each Monday is a different one, and it goes along with my second offer, which is my book, Simplify Your Holiday Season.
Okay.
Turn seasonal stress into holiday success. So there happens to be, and I won't hold it up because it'll be backwards reading, 12 chapters in there. Uh, so we go through the master gift list the first week and setting up your gift wrap center. So the next week we'll talk about, are you going to do holiday greeting cards? Here's simple ways to do that. And then the third week you're already out getting your gifts and starting to wrap a third of them. So by Thanksgiving, you know what you want to get. You can use the sales on the Black Friday after Thanksgiving, and you get most of your shopping done, and then comes the events. So we do, like you said, each week is a different focus, but they're laid out in a way that you don't feel stress, you don't feel performance. You just feel like if I do this, this is this is going to work, and I have hundreds of women who say it works, so I'm confident it would work for people.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing all that. I'll include a link in the bottom of this email below this video if you want to learn more on joining Marcia's holiday class. And you have on your website, you also have the free holiday planning calendar and master gift list that you talked about earlier in this video. Can you talk more about that?
Yes, that shows you each week exactly what to do for those 8 weeks up to Christmas and through New Year's, because that's a wonderful time between Christmas and New Year's. Thanksgiving is 4 days, and it's a great time to be together. So you can have multiple gatherings, either you're attending or not. But that gift list, we usually have 600, sometimes 900 women download it. It's free. It's there every single year. It's up now. Would love
Okay.
to share it. So
Okay.
the
So,
reason I do this is we have a full life the rest of the year, but this is the most stressful time of year. And when you're feeling like you're not organized or you have too much stuff, just follow this plan. It's like a path in the midst of whatever is in your house, and you feel like, okay, I got it. I can do this. I'm going to tune out the things that have been there all year, or maybe I'll pick up and donate some of them when
okay.
you're stressed, and it makes life easier. And when you're not stressed, you're the best hostess and the best guest.
I love that. Well, thank you. I will put a link in this email also for people that want to download the planning calendar that you mentioned and the master gift list. So, do you think, is there hope for people that intended to get organized in 2018, but the first 10 months they didn't accomplish their organizing goals? Is there hope for the last 2 months that they can spend the holidays feeling organized if they weren't as organized as they hoped earlier in the year?
Yes, there really is. And sometimes the pressure of the holidays and people coming is what you needed to put into practice everything you intended to do during the year. It's amazing. If you get a Saturday and you know relatives are coming the next weekend, you can do an amazing thing. You could do 10 months of work in one Saturday because there's a deadline with it. And when we have deadlines and we're under pressure, we actually work faster, believe it or not. And if you don't, you just say, I'm turning over a new leaf next year, and you don't worry about it. So, uh, like you tell your people, if you feel like you're not organized, go look at your silverware drawer. You did it. The forks are in the right place. This is in the right place. And the same thing, if you know where your Christmas tree is or your Thanksgiving cornucopia for the table, you're good to go. And important part is to be positive to yourself. You have to be your own cheerleader and say, I did this. And no one else may compliment you, but Alejandra will, I will, and we'll say, good for you. Every success leads to another one.
You're absolutely right. I 100% agree. That is so great. And
I think we're kindred spirits that we both have come from, maybe for me more so, not naturally organized to learning it. And now we're like, it's so much easier at this end. And we just want to bring the whole world with us and say, keep doing it. It's getting easier. I promise you, it's easier once you get through it all.
yeah, you just have to keep practicing, keep doing a little bit at a time. Eventually, you reach that goal, and and staying organized just becomes a habit. It becomes routine, and it just becomes your lifestyle. That everything is organized, so you can make other things easier. So your big why, you can focus on your big why as opposed to being stuck in the clutter and losing things and all the other things that occur when we are disorganized. Well,
I'll give you a PS on that.
yeah.
Sometimes when, like somebody's moved out of the house, maybe a child is grown and left or something, the holidays are a great time to box up special memories, maybe their trophies, their ribbons, whatever, and give it as a gift at the holidays. And they're going to look at it. It's their stuff and it's wrapped up in a pretty bow. Oh, thank you. It's so much better than giving it all at once. A funny story. Um, uh, I had a glass chest that was made by a great great aunt in 1898 in the Chicago World's Fair. You would open it, it was glass and beveled with this in ornate wood, about maybe 4 inches high, maybe 18 inches wide. You would put a crown in there, like crown jewels or something. It had been passed down to the family to me. And so I thought, oh, we've had it all these years. I don't really want it anymore, but it's such a treasure. So I gathered my children and their spouses around. We put it on the bed, and I said, now, do any of you want it? I want to pass it on. And so they all stood there. And then one of their 4-year-old came in and bounced on the bed, and everybody went, oh. And the mom said, Luke, be careful. That's grandma's. It's very special to grandma, and she doesn't want it anymore. And we just burst into laughter. And that's how, treasures and clutter can be. They're special, we're having trouble getting rid of it, but when you think about it, there's a point to pass it on. So that January I did find an antique shop, and it went to, and I knew the owner of it, he wanted it, so I took a picture of him and I with it. It was passed on, and
Oh,
unburdened myself. I have unburdened the family from hanging on to it. But the holidays are a great time to do something like that. So I hope that's a memorable story that will inspire others to pass it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that you were able to pass that on and you found a better home for it.
Yep.
Oh, well, I am so sorry. All right. Well, thank you so much for making time to join all of us and share all of your wisdom around holiday organization with all of us. I enjoyed our time together, and you've taught us all a lot of great stuff. I do want to end with I have your book here, and I was flipping through, and one thing stood out that I really enjoyed, and so I want to end with that quote. And thank you so much for sharing this in your book and with all of us. It says, "Successful people do one special thing that other people don't do in their planning. They begin with the end in mind. They think about what makes the holiday special, and the answer is always getting people together." And I couldn't agree more, because the holidays are they're about being around our loved ones. It doesn't matter if you didn't buy any gifts, you didn't receive any gifts, you didn't send any cards out, you didn't decorate your home. As long as you brought people together and you cultivated love, it would just be an incredible holiday season. So thank you for reminding me and everyone else what the holidays are about, and just sharing your expertise with us. I'm grateful that you made time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, and everyone have a very happy season and do something new this year that you haven't done. Make life easier and enjoy the holidays.
Thank you, Marcia. And thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing everyone soon. Take care. Bye-bye.